What's up, guys? Crypto Muser here with your daily news and analysis in the crypto markets. Now, we had a tweet come out last night from a reliable source that supposedly we're finally getting that crypto executive order from the White House. We should get it sometime this week, maybe even tomorrow, they're saying. We've been waiting for this executive order for about a month now. I think they said it initially was supposed to come out the first week of February. Then it kept getting pushed back. And then obviously due to current events with Russia and Ukraine conflict, it basically got pushed back. And now we're sitting here in the second week of March. And supposedly now we are getting it. I believe it is even more important now to come out with some type of clear, concise road to regulation in this country, right? You're seeing it all around the world now. You're seeing it in the EU, you're seeing it in the UK, and all countries around the world are trying to get on the same page with crypto. With the attention around crypto in this Ukraine-Russia conflict, it's becoming more and more important to get some sort of clear and concise regulation on this new technology and asset class around the world. Obviously, the arguments out there that Russia would somehow use crypto to get around these sanctions, and obviously the benefits of crypto with all this crowdfunding using crypto to help the Ukrainian people and the Ukrainian military. It's just, crypto can do things that the regular banking system cannot do, right? They're fast transactions. They're sometimes instant transactions to get money in places that need the money, as soon as possible. With the current banking system, it takes days to weeks even. And when you're obviously in a war zone, it's almost impossible to get those funds when it's at where it's actually needed. So obviously you're seeing the benefits and you're seeing some of the, in quotations, nefarious ways crypto is used. But it's becoming more and more clear that Russia can't use crypto to get around the sanctions. I think Russia moves about $50 billion a day in their FX markets. There's just not enough liquidity in crypto for Russia to use crypto in those ways, right? The infrastructure isn't there, the liquidity isn't there. It just doesn't make much sense, right? And it's been argued. I've seen many arguments time and time again on online and on Twitter that basically are proving the point that Russia cannot use crypto to get around these sanctions. But you're still seeing, senators like Elizabeth Warren trying to use that as an excuse on why we need to clamp down on crypto. And, it's people like Elizabeth Warren that really just irk me because, she knows better, right? She knows that, Russia can't use this to get around these sanctions, but she just doesn't like crypto. I wonder why she doesn't like crypto. She's supposedly this anti-banks for the people senator, but, I see right through that. I believe she is a fraud. I believe that she is paid by the big banks, and it's all front that she uses this facade that she's somehow, for the people and against the big banks. I believe that is, absolute BS. And I think that she is enemy of the people. And then honestly, that we need to vote her out. And I am from Massachusetts. She is one of my senators. And I believe that she is one of the worst senators that we have out there because she's just so fake, right? So there's nothing worse than a politician, but there's nothing worse than a fake politician. And I know most of them are fake. But the ones that are like that claim to be for the people that are the exact opposite, those are the type of politicians that I cannot stand, right? I am not Republican, Democrat. I'm not even independent. I'm basically, apolitical. But when you see people like that, politicians that, claim to be for the people and that are not, they're just, basically trying to trick people into voting for them because they're supposedly for the people. That's one of the big things I cannot stand in politics. But before I get in the video, guys, could you please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. It'd be very much appreciated, but let's get right into it, guys. So the first thing I want to show you guys is a tweet from Crypto Eddie. Crypto Eddie is a great follow, by the way, on Twitter and on YouTube. She's an OG in the space. She's been around since about 2014. She's from Japan, so she kind of gives you that different perspective about, how the Japanese are looking at crypto and how just a different perspective around the world of crypto, right? It's sometimes it's good to get those different perspectives in this market to really give you a better idea of what's going on. But anyway, great follow on Twitter, but she tweeted this out. The future is liquid. Ripple's Liquidity Hub coming in 2022. This video, let's just watch this video and I want to show you and let's talk about what Ripple is trying to do with this new product they're coming out, the Liquidity Hub, which is basically what it is a exchange for institutional investors, right? So let's watch the video and then let's talk about it.
2022 and beyond. At Ripple, we're building Liquidity Hub. Once launched, Ripple's Liquidity Hub platform will enable companies to seamlessly access crypto from a variety of venues. The product will support a turnkey integration and allow companies to offer their end customers the ability to buy, sell, and hold crypto. Enterprises will be able to maintain separate accounts via Ripple's custody solution and monitor and analyze transactions through a comprehensive dashboard. But that will be just the beginning for Liquidity Hub. As a leading liquidity platform, it will enable many additional enterprise applications for crypto and serve as a cost-effective way to source a variety of new and cutting-edge crypto assets. Join us for this exciting journey as we explore new horizons and applications of crypto.
So guys, like I said before, what this is a exchange for institutional investors. It's an exchange for, companies, banks, corporations. If you know, obviously everybody uses exchanges for on-ramps to come in and out of crypto, right? You either use your Coinbase, Uphold, Binance, whatever, KuCoin, whatever the exchange you use, you realize that these exchanges make billions and billions of dollars, right? Coinbase just came out with their numbers. They grew like 400% of their volume grew in the last year. When you are making billions and billions of dollars off of retail investors, think about the money that Ripple is going to make off of institutional investors. We're talking about billions upon billions of dollars transacting every day on this platform, right? When you have, it's the biggest thing right now why institutions aren't involved in this market is because there's not clear and concise regulation, but there's not custody options out there, right? People don't know how to custody their own crypto, and especially institutional investors. I mean, you're not gonna, if you're buying millions and millions of dollars for your company in crypto, you're not gonna hold that on a Niner Ledger or a hard wallet. You want a real custody solution, right? So this is what Liquidity Hub will be. It will be a totally insured, security-backed exchange, basically, for these institutions. And honest to God, man, this could be $1 trillion company or even $1 trillion product that they have within their company. And if you've watched my last couple of videos, I talked about that, XRP and Ripple is trying to use XRP in their ODL, on-demand liquidity solution to go after the Swift market, which is a $400 trillion market, right? And we talked about how if XRP and Ripple took 10% of Swift's business, it would make the price of XRP maybe even $500 to $1,000 per XRP, and that's just taking 10% of Swift's volume over the Swift platform, right? We're talking about a $400 trillion market. That's just that part of what Ripple's going after. This, with the Liquidity Hub, this is another $1 trillion idea. Do you realize what Ripple's doing? What I'm trying to tell you guys is that Ripple is going to be the biggest company in the world by far. They're going after this $1 trillion idea and market, and then they have another, obviously, with cross-border payments. That's another $400 trillion a year market. We're talking trillions of dollars, guys. So what does that do for the price of XRP? I mean, you tell me. People have been throwing around these crazy price predictions like $1,200 per XRP, $500 per XRP, $10,000 per XRP. I know they sound crazy at this point, but we're still so early in this market, right? When Bitcoin was at $50, if anybody would have said, Bitcoin's going to be at $60,000 one day, they would have called that person crazy, right? XRP right now is at about 75 cents. Is it that crazy to think that in 5 to 10 years that it could be maybe $500 per XRP, $1,000 per XRP, $10,000 per XRP? No, it's not. Honestly, it's not that crazy to think about because we're still so new in this market. And the markets Ripple are going after, guys, these are $1 trillion markets. It's not like they're going after a $50 billion market here, or $10 billion dollar market here, which is, those are big markets for sure. And some coins are going after those types of markets out there. But what Ripple is doing is basically trying to change the world, right? These are $1 trillion ideas. These are $1 trillion markets, guys. You have to understand and look at the big picture here. when you invest into a company or you invest into a crypto coin, you obviously want to see long-term viability. And, obviously, when you look at Ripple and you look at XRP, all I see is long-term viability, right? This is the only company out there that's actually doing these things, right? Or at least doing these things on this level, right? And they've been, they've had, look at Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, has been in meetings with, people in, all corners of the globe with the IMF and the BIS and the just all these huge, bank actors and institutional corporations around the world. Ripple has been involved with these companies and banks for 8+ years, guys. They've been setting the groundwork for this. And as soon as this lawsuit is over, I'm telling you guys right now, as soon as this lawsuit is over, Ripple will go public. And I'm telling you right now, Ripple will be the biggest company in the world by 2025. Mark that down, guys, for sure. So just want to show you this quick video just to show you what the big things Ripple are trying to do. Ripple's whole idea is when they talk to their employees, they talk about making a dent in the universe, right? They talk about changing the world. This is a company that you can maybe think about Amazon in its early days, right? What Amazon did was they wanted to go after books first, right? And they wanted to perfect that market, and then they moved on to the next thing, right? And look where Amazon is today. It's the biggest company in the world, right? You use Amazon for everything. This is what Ripple did, right? They stepped in the door. They wanted to do one thing right first, and that was cross-border payments and international remittances, right? As soon as they locked down that market, and obviously we've talked about that $400 trillion market, as soon as they lock down that market, they're moving on to the next, right? Like I said, Ripple is going to be the biggest company in the world. Mark it down, guys. Not financial advice, but if you're not looking into XRP, you're not doing your research, with Ripple and XRP, then you're doing yourself a disservice. Get into it, guys. Do your research. Do your due diligence and look into what this company is trying to do, guys. So, I'm end it there. But the next thing I want to talk about is that executive order we've been talking about, right? Crypto Law posted this. Crypto executive order. The order will direct federal agencies to examine potential regulatory changes as well as the national security and economic impact of digital assets. And it continues on, if I can scroll. Story notes accusations that Russia may be using digital assets to bypass the sanctions, but some analysts and officials have questioned how effective a workaround crypto would be, given the limited size of the market. Exactly what I was talking about before. Russia moves $50 billion a day, right? You can't do that with crypto yet. The infrastructure and the liquidity is just not there. Number 3, the order, which has been in the works since last year, will require federal agencies across the government to report later this year on what they're doing regarding digital assets. Biden's team is under pressure to play more of a coordinated role in the industry. Industry executives bemoan what they say is a lack of clarity in the U.S. rules. So why I think this is going to be bullish on crypto is because there's actually been industry executives and institutions around the world, and especially in this country, are complaining about the lack of clarity and the lack of what are the rules in this market, right? That's the main reason why institutions have not gotten involved, is because it's just there's no clarity, right? It's just confusing. You don't know what's a security, what's not a security. What the White House is trying to say in this executive order, I believe, is that, guys, get your shit together and let's come out with some clear, concise regulation, and let's coordinate with other regulators around the world to all come up with the same, basic regulations, so this, this technology can flourish. And honestly, what I think is the main reason for this executive order is the U.S. trying to finally lead in this technology, right? We've been waiting for this day, for many years now. You've seen countries like Japan, Singapore, Switzerland, UK. They're all, finally, trying to push this technology and be a leader in this technology moving forward. And the U.S. has kind of been lagging behind. It seems to me that finally, this government, as bad as, I don't want to get into politics, but as bad as the, Biden administration has been so far, this could be a major push in the right direction, right, at this point. So let's get into the next thing I want to talk about this order. So saw this tweet out from Dennis Porter. Breaking Biden executive order rumored to require the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, and Office of Science and Technology Policy to conduct a study on the environmental impact of digital assets. Now, you knew this was going to be a part of this executive order too, right? The whole idea that, proof of work systems like Bitcoin are bad for the environment, that has been a thing, has been a topic since obviously Tesla and Elon Musk. This is back probably I believe that was last May or April when he, first, allowed purchases with Bitcoin in Tesla, but then, came back and said, no, we can't use that because it's bad for the environment, blah, blah, blah. So obviously there's an environmental impact on the proof of work systems like Bitcoin. So how is that going to, fit in this executive order? We won't know yet. I mean, the fact that they're asking for the EPA and the Office of Science and Technology policy to, look into this and what are the things we can do to maybe make Bitcoin more environmentally friendly. Obviously, those can be good things in the long run, right? So we'll see what comes out with that, but obviously that's going to be a factor in this executive order. So the next thing I want to talk about. So you heard me talk about Elizabeth Warren earlier in the video, and you know that I do not like this woman. So she is supposedly now, and let's just go back here just to show you, Senator Warren is crafting legislation she hopes will make it harder for Russia to use cryptocurrencies to evade sanctions. So she obviously knows, right? She's not a dumb woman, right? I'll give her that. She's just a very smart woman because she's very conniving. She knows that Russia cannot use cryptocurrency to get around these sanctions, but she's using that as a topic to go against crypto, right? She's being paid by the big banks, bottom line, right? Like I said before, she's a fraud. She's saying she's for the people and against the big banks, but she's actually paid by these big banks, and I just don't trust a word she says anymore, right? The fact that she, supposed progressive is against crypto makes no sense to me. And so she came out and said this, and then Senator Warren Davidson, I believe she's from Ohio's 8th District, said, does Senator Warren understand that illicit activity accounts for about 1 in 1,024th of a total crypto transactions, or that giant sanctions loophole for the giant sanctions loophole for Russian energy is Russia's biggest funding source? Apparently not. So these are the things that she knows about, but she's being, she's not giving you the whole story, right? She's trying to use this whole Russia will use crypto to get around sanctions to be against crypto. And hopefully you guys are seeing right through it. Obviously, Senator Warren Davidson is seeing right through it. I don't believe Senator Warren will get anything passed. As I've been talking about before, it seems like in the midterm elections that the Republicans will basically take over the House and the Senate. And better believe that, nothing is going to get passed if Senator Warren, Senator Elizabeth Warren is trying to get it through, right? Oh, I can't stand that woman. Anyway, the last thing I want to show you guys is that I don't know if you guys, you can either love or hate this guy, but, I respect him, right? He's apolitical, kind of like me. He's more like spiritual and, it's all about love and all that or whatever, but he breaks it down pretty well here, talking about...
If you're so worried about it, don't fucking...
Talking about crypto regulation and how basically the way they go about trying to regulate this asset class is basically, we want to look out for you guys, right? We're all about the protecting investors, right? But meanwhile, they're not trusting us to, invest our money in whatever we want, right? You have gambling, available in how many states now around the country. It's okay for people to gamble on sports or whatever, but when it comes to the world of finance and crypto and stock market, these so-called regulators, they know what's best for us, right? So they're gonna, if you can't invest in these startups because you don't have enough money. If you had enough money, maybe you'd be smart enough to invest in these companies, right? So the richer you are, the smarter you are to them, right? It makes no sense. They know it. We know it. But let's just hear Russell Brand talk about these people real quick, and we'll talk about it after. I think it's pretty funny.
If you're so worried about it, don't fucking invest in it.
The thing is with cryptocurrency, and what we need to protect you from, is that we can't currently regulate it and therefore predict its behavior and therefore accurately know when and how we should invest in it and therefore increase our own profits. You can see that would be a problem for us. We've got to protect you. We've got to protect you from us ever being poor and therefore beholden to you for money. And that would mean, I guess, we'd have to do what you wanted instead of what we wanted. And you can see why we'd want to protect you from that.
If you're so worried...
I mean, perfectly said, right? Perfectly said. The fact that they will not, they think they're smarter than us. If you have a lot of money, it makes you smarter, right? It makes you a better investor because you have a lot of money. If you don't have a lot of money, we don't trust you guys with your own money, right? We're not going to allow you guys to use your own money and invest in these products because we want to control it, right? We don't want to give you guys control. That's basically, it's all about control, guys. That's what it's always been about from day one and everything with the stock market, crypto market. It's about control. When crypto came out, they couldn't control it, so they were against it. They tried to ban it, and when they realized they couldn't ban it, then it was about controlling. They want to control. JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, all these big banks, they want to get in your pockets and they want to take your money. That's what they've been doing. They've had a monopoly basically on defrauding and stealing people's money legally because they write the rules and they own the politicians that make the laws. For years, they've been doing this over and over again. And crypto is this one thing that we have, guys. It's the power we have. And the fact that they're trying to come up with this regulation that basically says, oh no, we're looking up for you guys. We're looking up for the little guy. Yeah, when have you guys ever done that, right? Pretty funny, honestly, at this point. But I just want to show you guys that video because I thought he broke it down pretty well. So the last thing I want to talk about in this video is Leb Crypto posted this, and this is basically what I think is most important in this asset class. So he says, trading components weighted for success. 90% patience, 90% planning, 90% patience, 9% planning, and 1% execution. And I preach this every day on this channel. When I talk to people that are, first getting into crypto, 90% of it is patience, right? When you are, especially when you are investing in long-term investments, you have to have patience. You can't think you're just throwing money into something and you're gonna make millions of dollars the next day. That is not the way. When you think like that and you let your emotions take control, that's how you lose money. That's how you get wrecked in this market. The biggest thing to preach is patience, guys. When you put your money in something, right, have patience. Know at some point it will go up. When you zoom out in these long-term charts, a monthly chart, right, it just keeps going up, right? In a monthly chart, in the long-term charts, this market is going to keep going up. But in short-term and the 1 hour, the 4 hour charts, yeah, it looks very volatile. It's up and down. It's up and down. You can't look at it in these short-term day-to-day process. You got to look at the long-term benefits. And guys, I'm telling you right now, if you just put your money away in some crypto, buy the dip, dollar cost average, obviously not investment advice, but when you dollar cost average and you slowly invest in this market and you wait and you hold, right? The whole hodl, right? Hold on for dear life, right? Hold on and wait. And when you set a price target of when you want to sell and make money, and you sell when it goes up. It's easy as that, guys. Just be patient. Invest on the dips. Invest in, when there's fear in the market. And then, just wait. Just sit on your hands and wait. That's the best thing you can do. Obviously, don't invest more than you can lose because then you're just, when you're throwing your rent, your monthly rent into crypto, that is the dumbest thing you possibly could do because you're expecting a return within the month to pay your rent. And then your emotions are running wild. Then now I lost my money. I can't pay my rent. You can't do stuff like that. Even if you're throwing small amounts at a time, right? You work the week, you throw $20 in, do your research into cryptos you think have a viable future. And you throw $20 in this, excuse me, I'm getting a phone call in the middle of my video. You throw $20 into Bitcoin or XRP or whatever it is on a weekly basis and keep doing that. For the next, couple months or so, whenever you see a big dip in the market, buy a little more and slowly make grow your portfolio, guys. But the biggest thing you want to do is just hold and be patient. Wait for the price to go up. At one point, I know it seems like right now we're in, deep fear in the market, right? You see the fear and greed index at 20 or below in deep fear, extreme fear. At some point, guys, we will be in extreme greed, and the price will be going up, and everybody will be calling for, we're in a bull market again, blah blah blah. But you just have to get through these tough times and just keep buying and keep accumulating. And at some point, this market will blow up again, and you will make money in that way, right? Like he says here, 90% patience, 9% planning, and 1% execution, and you cannot lose in this market, guys. Bottom line. So remember, not financial advice, obviously, but please like, subscribe, leave comments down below. But just remember, I am not a financial advisor. Please do not take anything I write or say as financial advice. This is for educational purposes only. And thanks, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.